I can't believe what I'm hearing at Tottenham at the moment. It's in full collapse. There's every single player wants out of this club. It's becoming super toxic. There's 7 players that could be leaving, and these are not just fringe players or sub players. These are top players that want out of Spurs. And do we really blame them? This has become a massive shambles, and it's so much worse than I thought. Now, the 7 players I'm going to get into are players that, you know, we highly rate. Some of them are probably on the fringes, but I'll start off with the first one. Basuma is not a shock. Basuma already has been a naughty boy, basically, and he's definitely not going to get a new contract. Now, Dragushin is saying he wants to leave to get first team football. It's probably more of his agent speaking, but Dragushin is not happy at Spurs either. Richarlison has just come out today and said he wants to leave in the summer. I don't care. Leave, Richarlison, if you want. Matisse Tell has said he wants to get out. He wants to play first team football. He wants game time. And I think that would be a massive, massive blow to Spurs if we let Tell go. I think he's a huge, huge talent. Kingsky's now come out and said he wants to leave. He wants to be a #1 goalkeeper, and he doesn't think he's going to get that under this current manager. Christian Romero is called out the board, and I don't think he's happy. I don't think he wants to stay at Spurs anymore. He's just signed a 5-year contract, but that means nothing in football. If other teams pay big enough money, Spurs will probably sell them. And the even bigger blow, if we lost this guy, would be Mickey van der Ven. Now, he's been offered a new contract, which he doesn't want. He doesn't want to sign anything. He thinks that the club are going in a really bad direction, and he's not sure of his future at Spurs anymore. Now, that's seven big players, in my opinion, that want out of Spurs. And I can't believe what I'm hearing. Like, no players want to play for Spurs anymore. No big players are definitely want to come to Spurs anymore. So you can forget this January transfer window. It's going to be probably full of youths. And that moves me on to ENIC. ENIC are an absolute shambles. Who the hell was in charge there now? Because at the start of the season and during the summer, they couldn't stop coming out with videos and telling us how we're going to concentrate on sport and success. We want to compete on all level, for all trophies. We want to win the Premier League. We want to compete for the Champions League. You know, we want to compete up there with the top. We're going to focus. We're going to sign top players. We're going to move in the right direction. Where are they all now? Where are all these board members? Where's Vinay? Vinay was loving the screen time before. He said he was going to come out and speak to the Spurs fans once per month. He's not come out once since all of this has been going on. They're all hiding. They're all cowards. And it's just the same old shit that we had before. It's not on, and the fans don't deserve any of this. The players don't want to play. The fans have got disconnect with the players. They're arguing with each other. It's basically like a civil war going on. It's an implosion. It's absolutely crazy. And nobody's happy. The fans not happy. The players are not happy. And I'm sure the board is not happy. And Frank doesn't look happy either. There's a mixture between now the board are not backing Frank. Frank's playing negative tactics, digging at the fans every 5 minutes. The fans are fighting back and booing when the players are playing. Players don't want to be there. We lose every single home game going. We hardly ever win at home. It's just absolute shambles. And fans now are numb. Like, if you just think about just how the fans feel, they feel numb. Like, I'll speak for myself here, and let me know in the comments if you feel the same as me. When I watch Spurs now, I do not expect them to win. When I watch them now, I do not expect them to play good football. I don't expect them to play attacking football. I don't even expect them to have the ambition to pass the ball forward anymore. I don't even get that excited if we score. And when we concede a goal, I don't get angry anymore. It's just, oh, well, another goal we've let in. It's just become absolute numbness now. They've taken the joy away from Spurs fans. ENIC have absolutely hit almost rock bottom now. And I'll tell you what, if we carry on in this direction, I promise you we'll end up getting relegated. We will. And people say, yeah, we might not get relegated this year. You carry this form on into next year. We're already the 17th lowest team in form in the Premier League. And that's only because the teams below us haven't been in the Premier League as long as we have. And if they did, they'd probably have more points than us. That's disgusting for a club this size with the money we have. 9th richest club in the world, best stadium in the world, best training facilities in the world. But we haven't got the best players in the world. And that is the biggest disconnect we have at the moment. There's no sport and success. There's nobody trying to make us bigger and better. I can't see it anyway. And the only transfer rumours we've got at the moment is Sousa from Brazil, 19-year-old left back. No big bids in for any top players. I know top players probably won't want to come to us anyway, but why not try? You know when people say, oh, they won't come to Spurs. Well, money talks. When Manchester City years and years ago started getting all that money, they weren't a big side whatsoever, but they attracted players by paying high wages and paying high fees. And they got the better players in. So it is possible to do it, but Spurs won't do that because Spurs want to pay cheaply and they don't want to go past PSP or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. But at the end of the day, Spurs are not ambitious. Spurs under ENIC are not ambitious. They don't want to compete in wages. They don't want to compete with, let's say there's a player, I don't know, a left winger that we really wanted, and he was release clause of say 70 million. Spurs won't pay 70 million. What they'll do is wait for all the other teams to not pay it, and then they'll go in with a low ball 50 million. That's not an ambitious team. That's a team that says, you know what, we'll just go for the cheaper option and we won't bother with it anymore. It's for me, it's this club is becoming an absolute joke, and it's not fair for the fans. You know, it's going to be a point now. If ENIC don't do anything in January, if they do anything in January, they don't sign any players and a back Frank whatsoever, and we end up, 15th in the league, whatever. ENIC are going to be chased out by all fans because I ain't settling for that. I ain't settling for them not competing. They love it when they want to do concerts and they want to do boxing fights at the stadium. Why don't you put on a show and put all the best players out on the pitch for us fans to actually watch? It's absolutely insane. Now, we've got a game coming up against Aston Villa tomorrow, and I've got zero confidence of winning that game. And if we go out in the FA Cup tomorrow, I really can't see Thomas Frank keeping his job. And if he does keep his job, that's again the board not showing any ambition. Every single other club have sacked their manager and tried to go in a different direction. Everton have done it. West Ham have done it. Wolves have done it. Man United have recently done it. Chelsea have done it. And we just sit languishing below those teams and still not pulling the trigger. Yes, I understand that we want to have a manager for the long term and we need to build. We have to be very, very careful, though, not to back the wrong manager. If you back the wrong manager, that can send you even further back. And that is a big concern for me at the moment because I'm not seeing any green shoots from Thomas Frank. I saw a little bit against Bournemouth and a little bit against Sunderland, but both teams were massively out of form. Sunderland had 7 or 8 players missing, by the way, and could have beat us at the end. Bournemouth did beat us in the end, and they played twice or 3 times in that week, and they're not used to that, and they haven't got the squad for that. We're used to playing twice a week, and we still massively struggled against Bournemouth. I'm not getting overexcited by those little bits of play that we played well when we come up against the Chelseas, the Arsenals, Liverpools, we'll get absolutely battered. I'm confident of that at the moment. Thomas Frank does not know how to beat any teams that come at you. He wants to play counter-attacking football all the time, which means no attacking football. We don't have many shots. We don't have many shots outside the box. We don't have many forward passes from midfield. It's absolutely crazy. We've got the least amount of forward passes in the whole of the Premier League, by the way, progressive passes. So it's Tottenham are almost rock bottom now. The fans are almost rock bottom. Nobody thinks we're going to win any games anymore. I'm not confident about playing anyone. If you told me we're playing Wolves tomorrow, I wouldn't be confident about beating them either. And they're bottom of the league and they only got 5 points, and I still wouldn't be confident about beating them. It's absolutely insane. And I know this sounds like a really bad rant, but nothing I'm saying is untrue. Nothing. And this is not being overly negative. This is saying that I'm really, really upset as a Spurs fan that we're not heading in the right direction at all. I could just see us heading further and further down. And I'm seriously, seriously scared now that if this carries on into next season as well, we will be in a relegation battle. I've lived through this before in the 90s. We were in a relegation battle then. People were saying Spurs were too big to go down, and they were this close from going down. It can happen if your club's not run properly, and we're not run properly whatsoever. And it's a serious, serious situation to be in, and we don't want to take this lightly. We're going to have to try and get this Enoch out or get Frank out or whatever. If you get Frank out, it's going to be the same. Get another manager that's not going to be back. So I don't know the solution. I really don't know. The only solution is back the bloody team and buy some decent players and show ambition to the current players that we have at the moment. Show them ambition and they'll want to stay. I don't think Romero and Van der Ven are seeing any ambition from this club whatsoever. This is why they want out the door. You know, it's very, very toxic and it needs to change, but I just don't see it happening. I think this is only going to get worse at the moment. It really is. Let me know in the comments what you think. How are you feeling at the moment? Do you feel numb like me? Because it's really bad times at Spurs. I thought last year was bad, but then we got a really good uplift with the Europa League trophy. But league form, it was really bad. I think this year is just as bad or worse. It really is. Thank you for watching. Come on, you Spurs.